नहमदहु व नसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़ाउज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली रब्बि यस्सिर वला तुअस्सिर वतम्मिम बिल खैर आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन. We are working on Murakkab Tawsifi. In the last video we worked on Sifa as a sentence or a phrase. I have brought more examples to consolidate that concept. Let us look at these three English sentences. I have a sister whose name is Fatima. She is a lecturer who teaches at London University. There's nothing like London University as such. There are many universities in London, but none of them is called as London University. This is just to make the point. I remember it from a book that I read. So if we focus on these sentences, English sentences, we are describing an indefinite noun further in the later half of the sentence. I have a sister. She is a lecturer. I remember it from a book. So these indefinite nouns are being described further in the second half of the sentence. The second half of the sentence in English is connected to the first half by these connecting words, the whose, the who, the that. In Arabic, we do not have these connecting words, but the second half of the sentence will then be a complete sentence, not an incomplete sentence. Because in English, if we really remove these connecting words, or if we don't pronounce these, so second half is name is Fatima, it is an incomplete sentence. So we'll be kind of missing a pronoun here. It should be her name is Fatima. So in Arabic, that's what we would be saying. Teaches at London University, we're missing a subject here, so we'll lose that in Arabic and add she teaches at London University. I remember it from a book that I read. It could be a complete sentence, but if we lose this in Arabic, then we'll be missing our subject here. I read it. What did I read? I read it from a book, which is in the first half of the sentence. So let us translate the first sentence into Arabic. I have a sister, li ukhtun. That's simple enough. I have a sister. Ukhtun is indefinite. Ismuha Fatimatu. So her name is Fatima. So that's what we are saying literally in Arabic. Her name is Fatima. So although in English saying I have a sister, her name is Fatima, that's not the right way of saying, but in Arabic we need this a complete sentence. The second half of the sentence will have to be a complete sentence. So if we say like this, name is Fatima, ismu Fatima, name Fatima, so that will not make any sentence in Arabic. Now, ukhtun, and then there is a complete sentence here, but there's no connecting word in Arabic like those which we have in English. So basically what's happening here is that because this is describing this indefinite noun, this ha, ismuha, her name, ha goes back to this pronoun, this zamir goes back to ukht, and kind of work as a connector. Because it works as a connector, it has to tally with ukht, with this precedent in both gender and number. For example, if we say ismuhu Fatimatu, so that will not work because hu is muzakkar and sister is muannas. If we say ismuhum or ismuhunna, feminine, plural, then again ukht is singular, so ismuhum or ismuhunna is also not going to work. So this pronoun which we have here has to tally both in number and gender with the precedent, the noun which is being described. So because we are describing this noun, so this is our mawsoof, and this whole jumla ismiya becomes our sifa. So mawsoof and sifa combine to make murakkab tawsifi. Second, she is a lecturer who teaches at London University. She is a lecturer or professor or teacher. Hiya ustazatun, indefinite, tudarrisu fi jamiati London. She teaches. There is a she in here. When we conjugate, we have not worked on verbs yet, but when we conjugate the verbs, then the she comes in here in this construction. So you have to trust me for now. So tudarrisu fi jamiati London. She teaches in London University. So that's our mawsoof, and the whole of this jumla fi'liya is our sifa. Mawsoof and sifa combine to make murakkab tawsifi. And if we go further here, hiya is a pronoun which is at the beginning of the sentence, and that easily qualifies to be mubtada. So that mubtada and this murakkab tawsifi is our khabar, so that becomes jumla ismiya khabariya. I remember it from a book that I read. I read it basically in Arabic, because we're going to lose that. So atazakkaruhu, I remember it. Min kitabin, from a book. Qara'tuhu, I read it. Qara'tuhu, I read it. So we have got this pronoun again here. So I read it, this pronoun goes back to kitab, because I read it from a book or in a book. So again here, this is working as a connector. Here, by the way, this conjugation she, that worked as a connector to ustaza. Here this is again working as a connector, goes back to kitab, and this time it is muzakkar, because book, kitab is muzakkar, ukht was muannas, we used ha. Here we are not going to use ha, here we are going to use qara'tuhu rather than qara'tuha, because this zamir will have to tally both in number and gender with this precedent which we're describing in the later half of the sentence. This fail, this is in the first revelation. Ikra, you read or read. Ikra, so that's fail amr. So when we conjugate, we keep that in mind as well, that what is the purpose of the fail. So in that case it will be qara'tu, I read, ikra, you read. Ikra, read, bismi rabbika allazi khalaq, khalaqal insana min alaq. So basically this is the first verb which has been used in Quran, and the second verb clearly is khalaqa. So let us look at an example from Quran. It's from Surah Maida, ayah number 31. So that will be 531. In the story of Habil and Qabil, when one brother killed the other one, and that was the first killing on this planet. So he did not know, Qabil did not know what to do with the body of his brother. So faba'asallahu, Allah sent Guraban, a crow, indefinite, a crow, yabhasu fil ardi. Bahasa yabhasu means to search, to look for, and when you're digging the ground, in a way you're kind of searching, you're looking for something, and this is the masdar. So madi mudari masdar. So Allah sent a crow, yabhasu fil ardi. Literally it will be, if this is not here, he is digging the ground. So Allah sent a crow who started digging the ground. That's the translation in English is going to be. So here Ghuraban is our mawsoof, and this whole sentence, which is jumla failure, is our sifa. and mawsoof and sifa combine to make murakkab tawsifi. Very good example of indefinite noun being described further in the later half of the sentence. This is not full ayah, this is part of ayah 31 of Surah Ma'idah, which is surah number 5. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.